Picture this. You're at Nashville Superspeedway, last lap, 3 cars side by side. And the guy who everyone said couldn't drive ovals, the guy who finished outside the top 30 in 5 of his first 6 oval races, that guy just led 12 laps and beat Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick by 0.001 seconds to take 5th place. NASCAR had to review the finish just to confirm it. And when they did, everything changed. That driver is Shane Van Gisbergen. Say it like it means something, because right now, it does. Let's go back to the beginning of the 2025 Cup season. SVG had 5 finishes outside the top 30 in his first 6 oval races. 5. That number is brutal. For every road course clinic he delivered, there was an oval that punished him. He was the road course king who couldn't crack the code on the tracks that define NASCAR's core identity. But here's what the critics missed. The 2025 season was a story of 2 halves. SVG was dominant on road courses and still closed out the year 12th in the championship, won Rookie of the Year, and collected 5 wins in a single season. His win at Watkins Glen in August 2025, in just his 38th Cup Series start, made him the fastest driver to reach 5 wins since Dan Gurney hit that mark in just 13 starts back in 1968. Dan Gurney, 1968. That is not a NASCAR stat, that is a historical marker. We're now approaching 500 subscribers here at NASCAR Racing Central. If you're new here and you want the stories that are actually worth your time, hit subscribe right now, drop a like, and share this video. We are almost there and we are not slowing down. Now back to Nashville 2026, because this is where everything shifts. SVG started 10th and ran inside the top 10 before the competition caution on lap 35. His crew chief Stephen Doran made a bold call, 2 tires, while everyone else, including Kyle Larson, took 4. SVG held the lead on the restart and led 12 of the next 16 laps, with Larson, one of the best oval racers alive, charging as the first driver on fresh rubber, barely able to take the lead back. Then came the finish. At the checkered flag, just 0.005 seconds separated SVG, Tyler Reddick, and Chase Elliott. NASCAR reviewed the finish and bumped SVG up to 5th. That is how close it was. This was not a road course. This was an oval. And Shane Van Gisbergen went door to door with Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott and came out of it with a top 5. After the race, crew chief Stephen Doran said, "Top 10s are now the benchmark for us to be satisfied with. I think we can do it the next 2. That sounds calm, but that statement represents a massive shift in expectations. They are no longer just surviving ovals, they are targeting them. Now the tone shifts, because this is where money, power, and fear enter the story. Red Bull announced they will serve as a primary partner for SVG and Connor Zilisch for 25 races during the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season. Not a small logo on the hood, primary partner. That means real money and a real long-term signal. Van Gisbergen and Zilisch combined for 16 wins across Cup and Xfinity Series in their 2025 rookie seasons. Red Bull doesn't back losers. They backed Max Verstappen. They backed Sebastian Loeb. Now they are going deep on SVG, and he is listed on Red Bull's official athlete page as a centerpiece of their NASCAR strategy, a driver who has turned the circuit's road course races into a near monopoly. When Red Bull commits to 25 primary races, that is not a marketing deal. That is a statement of intent. But intent for what exactly? Is Red Bull backing TrackHouse Racing? Or are they backing SVG himself? That question gets louder when you look at what is happening at Hendrick Motorsports. Alex Bowman is only under contract with Hendrick through 2026, while all 3 of his teammates are locked in through at least 2027. 1 seat, the most powerful team in NASCAR history, and it is open. Kyle Larson just extended himself into the know. 5 Chevrolet through the 2031 season. That leaves the number 48 as the hottest free agent seat in the garage. Insiders Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports and Jordan Bianchi of The Athletic have named Connor Zilisch, SVG's his own teammate, as a possible option for Hendrick if they decide to replace Bowman for 2027. If Hendrick is looking at Zilisch, the guy who shares a garage with SVG, what does that say about SVG himself? Is he already considered too expensive? Too big for what TrackHouse can currently offer? Or is the whisper actually louder, that SVG is the name being discussed in private? There is already a video circulating on YouTube titled TrackHouse Sabotage: Why SVG is Joining Hendrick Motorsports. The fans are talking, the rumor mill is spinning, and nobody in the garage is shutting it down. Before you get too comfortable with that storyline, the counter-argument exists, and it has data behind it. At Kansas Speedway, SVG battled handling issues and finished 36th, 4 laps down. The car was never in the setup ballpark. He battled understeer, a voltage issue, and brakes going to the floor. At the end, SVG radioed, "Hopefully there's a reason." One race later, at Nashville, he answered his own question. That is not luck. That is a driver solving problems in real time. And Nashville's final classification hinged on a scoring review and a chaotic last lap pack fight. The haters will say one oval top 5 proves nothing. But SVG now has 7 Cup wins and is not even halfway through his second full-time Cup season. Shane Van Gisbergen, Ross Chastain, and Connor Zilisch may be the most talented trio in the Cup Series outside of Hendrick, Joe Gibbs Racing, and Penske. But outside of is doing a lot of work in that sentence. And the question is no longer whether TrackHouse is a good team. The question is whether it is big enough. So here is where we land, and there is no clean answer. SVG just proved he can run top 5 on an oval. Red Bull is in for 25 primary races. Hendrick has an open seat. Zilisch is being named in rumors. And TrackHouse is a growing operation, but it is not Hendrick Motorsports. Not yet, anyway. When a driver wins 7 Cup races before most guys win their first, when Red Bull backs him with 25 primary races, when Hendrick has a seat open and everyone in the garage knows it, you have to ask yourself, is SVG building TrackHouse into a super team? Or is TrackHouse just the place where the next super team era is getting started, and SVG is the spark that lights the fuse? This story is not even close to over. Comment below, do you think SVG stays at TrackHouse and builds something historic? Or does Hendrick come calling before 2027? Drop your take, share this video with someone who follows NASCAR, and if you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next. Subscribe to NASCAR Racing Central. We are almost at 500, and do not miss what comes next in this one.